हेलो फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स अवर डिस्कस ऑफ एनटीए मॉक टेस्ट सेकंड। और ये न्यू पैटर्न का टेस्ट पेपर है। और बात करते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकंड की। व्हाट इज़ द टोटल गेन ऑफ एनर्जी ड्यूरिंग दिस प्रोसेस। इस सेक्शन बी की बात कर रहे हैं। टू मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ एटीपी। ये तो देख के ही एनसीईआरटी का डायग्राम है। यहाँ पर ए और बी की लेबलिंग करनी है। जो बी ए दिया है वो सूट एपेक्स को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, जो बी रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है वो रेडिकल को। If a color-blind person marries a normal woman whose father was color-blind, then what percentage of the male progeny will be affected? 50%. Question 4. Emphysema. Emphysema is also related for alpha-1 antitrypsin. उसके बाद फिर रोजी से अगर बात करें तो लैक्ट एल्बुमिन। फिर इडीजा also related for the test to detect antigens or antibody. फिर ROP की बात करते हैं तो ये है कोड्स फॉर प्रोटीन्स इन्वॉल्व इन द प्लाज्मिड रेप्लिकेशन। फिर बात करते हैं क्वेश्चन 5 की। फाइंड द करेक्ट मैच विद रिस्पेक्ट टू हैबिटाट लॉस, प्लांट पॉलिनेटर्स, म्यूचुअलिज्म्स, को एक्सटिंक्शन। क्वेश्चन 6 हाइड्रार्ड सक्सेशंस एंड जीरार्ड सक्सेशंस डज नॉट डिफर इन क्लाइमैक्स कम्युनिटी। क्वेश्चन 7 TI plasmid is found in Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Question 8. In eukaryotes, RNA polymerase second transcribes the precursors of mRNA. Question 9. For fixations of one CO2 molecules in C3 plants, the energy required in the form of ATP and NADPH are 3 ATP and 2 NADPH2. Question 10. The continuous upward flow of water stream in tall trees is maintained due to cohesive force between water molecules and transpiration pool. Question 11. A number of bivalents are 8 in prophase first. What will be the number of chromosomes during anaphase second? 8. क्वेश्चन नंबर 12। ये तो एनसीईआरटी का डायग्राम है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 13 ये भी सीधे एनसीईआरटी का है। मोनोकॉट रूट को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 14 इन साइमोज इन्फ्लोरेसेंस main axis terminates in a flower and flowers are born in basipetal order. Question 15. Which of the following statement is correct regarding liver pods? Is the thallus is dorsiventral and closely approached to the substrate. ये correct है. They are monoecious as well as dioecious. सेक्शन बी अगर बॉटनी वाला हो गया, उसके बाद अगर हम बात करते हैं सेक्शन ए की बॉटनी में, practical significance of taxonomy is identifications of organisms. Question number second. How many are incorrect? The shape of the cell may vary with the functions of they perform. Okay, nerve cells are some of the longest cell. ये तो correct है. The largest isolated single cells is the egg of an ostrich. ये भी correct है. फिर blue green algae are eukaryotes. ये भी correct है. Prokaryotic cells are generally smaller and multiply slowly than eukaryotic cells. First and fifth are incorrect. Question number 3. The type of chlorophyll present in Phaeophyce is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Question 4. The number of chloroplasts in Chlamydomonas is 1 to 20, 20 to 4, and in a mesophyll cell it ranges. Question 5. Vexillary estivation is seen in bean. Question 6. Companion cells are present in the phloem of angiosperms. Question 7. Read the following statement. Presence of DNA. How many of the above statements are in common for mitochondria and chloroplast? Okay. माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया एंड क्लोरोप्लास्ट है, दोनों डबल लेयर्ड हो गए, दोनों में डीएनए पाया जाएगा. प्रेजेंस ऑफ डीएनए करेक्ट है. प्रेजेंस ऑफ क्रिस्टी माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में तो पाई जाएगी, बट क्लोरोप्लास्ट में देखने को नहीं मिलेगी. फिर प्रेजेंस ऑफ 70s राइबोसोम्स इसके साथ से, बट अगला पढ़ लेते हैं. एंजाइम्स फॉर कार्बोहाइड्रेट सिंथेसिस, साइट फॉर ऑक्सीडेटिव फॉस्फोराइलेशन, इसमें दो ही करेक्ट है. Question number 8. Which of the following prophases do not take place in a cell excepting syncytium cytokinesis? Question number 9. Magnesium is also chlorophyll. फिर फास्फोरस से AT, फिर जिंक एल्कोहल डिहाइड्रोजिनेस और मोलिब्डेनम नाइट्रोजिनेस. Question number 10. Which among the following is the most crucial step of the Calvin cycle? Carboxylation. Question number 11. To increase the length of grape stalks, gibberellins are applied. The mechanisms of actions of gibberellins exploited in this case is its ability to increase in the length of the axis. Question number 12. Which one of the following method is commonly used to maintain the genetic traits of a given plant? By propagating through vegetative multiplication. Question number 13. In phenylketonuria, the patient has a deficiency of any enzymes which causes hydroxylations of phenylalanine to form tyrosine. Question 14. The petioles that are green and synthesis food is observed in Australian acacia. Question 15. The endodermis is a part of cortex. Question 16. Which of the following is the correct sequence of glycolysis? G6P to 3 phosphoglycerals, फिर 3PG, फिर PEP. फिर question number 17. In angiosperms, the endosperms is formed after fertilization. Question number 18. A pure homozygous pea plant with yellow round seed is crossed with a pure homozygous. Question number 19. In prokaryotes, the regulations of gene expressions occurs at transcriptional level. Question number 20. Which of the following pairs is a gaseous type of biogeochemical cycle? Oxygen and nitrogen. Question number 21. With respect to the Amazonian rainforest, a few estimations of various organisms are listed below. 40,000 species of plants, no. 300 species of fishes, तो इनकरेक्ट है. बट 40,000 स्पीसीज ऑफ प्लांट की तो करेक्ट, बट 30,000 नो, 300 नो, 30,000 स्पीसीज है. यहाँ पर 1300 स्पीसीज ऑफ रेप्टाइल्स, नो. 427 स्पीसीज ऑफ मैमल्स, ये तो करेक्ट है. बट 427 स्पीसीज ऑफ एम्फीबियस, नो. Question 122. The food chain in which microbes split energy rich compounds of the producer's community is detritus food chain. Question 123. The given figure corresponds to central dogma of cell. अच्छा डीएनए से आरएनए का बनना ट्रांसक्रिप्शन और डीएनए से डीएनए का बनना रेप्लिकेशन, आरएनए से प्रोटीन का बनना ट्रांसलेशन। क्वेश्चन नंबर 24. Consider the following statements with respect to hydrophily and select the right choice. It is quite rare in flowering plants, pollen grains are protected by the mucilaginous covering. फिर in some plants, pollens are released inside the water. फिर flowers are very colorful but without nectar. No, ऐसा नहीं होगा. Question 25. The plants group that produces spores and embryo but lacks vascular tissues and seeds is Bryophyta. Question 26. Underground stems of some plants split to new niches, and when older parts die, new plants are formed, and examples of such modifications as grasses and strawberry. Question 27. An individuals having genotypes capital A, small a, capital B, small c, capital D will produce two types of gametes. Question 28. The two polypeptide of humus insulins are linked together by disulfide bridge. Question 29. Which of the following processes is used to insert recombinant DNA directly into the nucleus of the animal cell? Microinjection. Question 30. On translation, mRNA produces a polypeptide chain which contains 50 amino acids. If 26 codon of mRNA and triple U mutated and change to UUC, then the polypeptide chain will be not changed. Question 31. Due to non-disjunctions of chromosomes during spermatogenesis, sperms carry both sex chromosomes 22A plus XY. Okay. And some sperms do not carry any sex chromosomes 22A plus 0. If these sperms fertilize normal X 22A plus X, what type of genetic disorders appears among the offspring? Klinefelter syndrome and Turner syndrome. Question 32. As each cell of the sporogenous tissue is capable of giving rise to a microspores tetrad, each one is a potential pollen mother cells. Question 33. IAA is weed-free lawns. ABA is also related for stomatal closure, ethylene, ripening of fruits, फिर gibberellic acid, bolting, cytokinesis, herring sperms of DNA. Question 34. Which of these statements support the flower is a highly condensed and modified part of the plant body? The flower may develop in the axis of a small leaf-like structures called bract. Question 35. The parents do not suffer from a disease, but this disease is seen in some of their children. This disease must be caused due to autosomal recessive gene. फिर यहाँ पर जूलॉजी की बात करते हैं, जूलॉजी का सेक्शन ए की बात. क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट. Which one of the following organisms possess characteristics of both a plant and animal and euglena? Question number 2. Cycon belongs to a group of animals which are best described as multicellular organisms without any tissue organization. Question number 3. Read the following statement. Cartilage is present in between atlas and axis. Okay. In epithelium, cells are compactly arranged with the little intercellular matrix. Question number 4. Organics compounds firmly bound to an apoenzyme to make it catalytically active is prosthetic group. Question number 5. The part of large intestines which appears as a blind sac and harbors some microorganisms is called cecum. Question number 6. The most notable disease caused by the prions are bovine spongiforms, commonly called as encephalopathy is cattle, and its analogous variants, Jacob's disease in humans. Question number 7. In which disease does a symptoms of acute chest pain appear due to enough oxygen not reaching the heart muscles, angina pectoris? Question number 8. Which cell of the pancreas are responsible for releasing a hormone that increases the rate of glycosenolysis, alpha cells? Question number 9. Which of the following cells are responsible for the secretions of hormones that stimulates muscular growth of facials and axillary hair, aggressiveness, low pitch of voice, etc. in males? Cells situated in the interstitial space of testis. Question number 10. Identify the incorrect pair. Trypanosoma sporozoans, plankton float passively, goniolax, chitinous cell wall. No, because goniolax is also belongs for dinoflagellates and they have a cellulosic plate is place of the cell wall. Question 11. Select the mismatch among the following. Okay. Chondrichthyes, placoid scales, correct है. Columba, diaphragm, no. Large bodies फिर होता है. फिर belonoglossus, proboscis glands, limulus, chitinous cuticles. Question number 12. The enzyme's activity can be completely stopped by blocking its active site. Question number 13. Residual volume is greater than a tidal volume. Question number 14. A type of granulocyte and neutrophils and agranulocytes are phagocytics or monocytes, cells that destroy foreign organisms entering the body. Basophils secrete histamine, serotonin, यानी HSS, okay, heparin, H2S2, and are involved in the inflammatory reactions. Eosinophils resist infections and are also associated with allergic की बात करें तो allergic के लिए सारा के eosinophils और lymphocyte are responsible for the immune response of body. Identify each of them. Question 15. Cerebrum is divisible into left and right cerebral hemisphere by a deep longitudinal cleft. Question 16. Which of the following is a commonly called catecholamines? Adrenaline. Question 17. Which hormone is produced by the ovary in the second and third trimester of pregnancy? Relaxin. Question 18. Reptiles of different shapes and size dominated Earth. Which reptiles went back into water to evolve into fish-like reptiles 200 million year ago? Ichthyosaurus. Question 19. यहाँ पर चूज करेक्ट मैच करना है. एक्टिव नेचुरल इम्यूनिटी की बात करते हैं. यह है डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट विद द पैथोजेंस that have entered inside. फिर फर्स्ट लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस सरफेस बैरियर, फिर पैसिव नेचुरल इम्यूनिटी antibodies transferred through the placenta. Second line of defense complement patients and interference. Question number 20. Which of these varieties of wheat is biofortified at plus 66? Question number 21. Select the set of correct statements. Crista ampullaris is found in saculi and utricle. Okay, but diameter of a pupil is regulated by ciliary muscles. फिर minimum number of neurons in a reflex pathway are 2. ये correct है, बाकी incorrect. Question number 22. Which of the following is synthesized by pars nervosa of a pituitary gland? Neither oxytocin nor ADH. Question number 23. The administrations of progestogens or are progestogens estrogens combinations or are intrauterine devices within 72 hours of coitus have been found to be very effective as emergency contraceptive. Question number 24. The consequence of the industrial revolutions which took place in England was white colored moths were more in rural areas, black colored moths were more in urban areas. No variant was completely wiped out in all of these. Question number 25. Select the mismatch. AIDS ELISA test diagnosis correct है. Filariasis, Wuchereria, Bancroftitis यानी कि causative agent होता है. फिर malaria, Anopheles mosquitoes no. फिर ringworm, dry scaly lesions on skin symptoms, Trichophyton or a microsporum. Question 26. What is correct about the Nike? The functional role played by the organisms where it lives. Question 27. Which of these statements about proximal convoluted tubule is oblique are true? It is lined by simple columnar brush borders epithelium which increases the surface area of reabsorption. No, this is not correct. Nearly all of the essential nutrients and 70 to 80% of electrolytes and water are reabsorbed by these segments. फिर थर्ड की बात करें, it selectively secretes hydrogens ions, ammonia and potassium ions into the filtrates. फिर फोर्थ की बात करें, it is the most convoluted part of the nephron and it's present in the medullary regions of the kidney. Question number 28. Identify true statements. Cnidarians have blind sac body plans. Correct है. Digestions in ctenophora in intra as well as extracellular. फिर aginathans are endoparasites on the fishes. ये incorrect है. Ichthyophis belongs to tetrapoda group. Question number 29. The contractions of the diaphragm during inhalations increases the volume of thoracic chambers in the anterior-posterior axis. Question number 30. What ions must be present for binding the cross bridges in calcium ion? Question number 31. Select the correct statement from the following. Needles granules are found in cell body and dendrites. Question number 32. Which of the following statements are incorrect? Okay. Incorrect. Declines the death rate is the only reasons for the population circulation. No. The marriageable age decided by the government in 18 years for females and 21 years for males. ये correct है. An ideal contraceptive is the one that reduces the sexual drive for the users. No. The one child norms has mostly been adopted by pupils living in rural areas? No. Question 33. Vinegar is obtained by the double fermentations of a starch or a sugary materials. The first step fermentation is achieved by the addition of Saccharomyces cerevisiae and second step fermentations by the additions of Acetobacter aceti. Question 34 यानी कि यहाँ पर जो A are competed by the B यानी कि बॉन्ड को compete कर रहा है dissolved oxygens. Dead organisms inversely proportional to BOD यानी biochemical oxygen demand. Question 35. Which of the following muscles are known to be involuntary branched and striated cardiac muscles? इस प्रकार ये 35 कंप्लीट होते हैं और सेक्शन बी की बात करते हैं. सेक्शन बी में फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन की बात करते हैं. ट्राइपेनोसोमा इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू एक्टिव ट्रिप्सिन्स बाय द एक्शंस ऑफ एंट्रोकाइनेज. क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकंड की बात करते हैं. अगर मेलेटोनिन is अच्छा ओके. It helps in the maintaining the normal rhythms, rhymes the sleep wake cycles and body temperature. फिर एल्डोस्टेरॉन्स की बात करते हैं. It stimulates the reabsorption of sodium and water and excretion of potassium and phosphates ions. फिर थायरॉक्सिन्स की बात करते हैं. अगर it plays an important role in the regulations of the basal's metabolic rate. Question number third. Notochord is mesodermally derived structure found on the dorsal side. Question number 4. Find the number of the correct match in the following. Cancers don't die of ignorance disease. Cocaine, called coke or crack, is usually snorted. Correct. Charas binds to cannabinoids, receptors of central nervous system and GI tract. Smoking causes cancers for the urinary bladder. No. Hepatitis B sexually transmitted disease. Correct. Question number 5. A declining populations को represent करता है as pyramid. Question 6. Select the correct statement. Use of incinerators is crucial to the disposal of hospital waste. Recycling is the only solutions for the treatment of e-waste. Fish-eating birds containing 2 parts per million DDT becomes agents of biomagnification. Polyblend is a fine powder of bitumen. Question number 7. Citrus canker is a bacterial disease. Question number 8. Which one of the following pairs is wrongly matched? Nitrosomonas nitrifying and chemolithotrophic bacteria, rhodospirillum nitrogen fixation bacteria, and photoorganotrophs bacteria. E. coli used in genetic engineering and polycystic indicating bacteria. Question 9. Use and disuse of theory. Lamarck. फिर survival of the fittest. Darwin. Spark discharge apparatus. Stanley Miller. फिर mutations. Hugo de Vries. Question number 10. Read the following statements. यहाँ पर incorrect पूछ रहा है. Meiosis first is completed during the conversions of the secondary follicles into the tertiary follicles. Meiosis first is in oogenesis is an unequal division. Ovulations result in the release of the secondary oocyte. Question number 11. Angiotensin second will performs all the following except vasoconstriction करता है नेट्रीमिया, फिर इंक्रीजिंग CFR, फिर डी की बात करें एक्सेशंस ऑफ सोडियम आयन इन यूरिन। नो। Question 12. In glycogens, the right end of the polysaccharides chain is called reducing end. Question 13. Tendons connect muscles to bone and are made up of dense regular connective tissue. Question 14. Which of the following sets of the characteristics is found in phylum Echinodermata? Presence of water vascular systems and indirect development of larvae. Question 15. Which of the following statement about cyanobacteria is incorrect? Cyanobacteria like Nostoc and Anabina are chemosynthetic autotrophs. No. Cyanobacterial colonies are generally surrounded by a gelatinous sheath. They are unicellular filamentous and terrestrial marine organisms. But some of these organisms can fix nitrogen in specialized cells called heterocytes. इस प्रकार आपके 100 क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट होते हैं। आई होप आप लोगों को वीडियो पसंद आई होगी, तो प्लीज़ वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लाइक एंड शेयर करें प्लीज़। और जिन लोगों ने चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया प्लीज़ वो लोग चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें। थैंक यू सो मच वॉच फॉर दिस वीडियो और मिलते हैं जल्दी एक नई वीडियो के साथ।